Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of The Source. NBA Thursday, just 5 games, and one of them's an afternoon game in Paris. So really just 4 night games, but we'll go through all 5, or as many, if I have time, I'll go through all 5. So far tonight, looking good. I'm actually 4-0 against the spread. The problem is I only bet 1. The Kings was the only game I actually bet. The other 3 were just leans I gave out on the show. The games I need are still happening. I'm recording this a little earlier than usual. Thunder looking good. They're still, they're up 7 with a minute to go. Sixers, that game's down to the wire. Pelicans looking good at half. So overall, it's looking like a good night, but there's still plenty of time for it to go downhill. So I don't want to call it a good night yet. But let's get into it. NBA Thursday, let's go. Update. So these games actually still aren't over, but it's locked in for another winning day. I'm really having a hell of a week here. Jazz, I'm pretty much chalking that up as a win. They're up like 20 points. Raptors plus 10. They're in a battle with the Clippers, so we'll see on that one. Another announcement, though. Community parlay back to back. 2 community parlay cashes in a row. So shout out to the community. Let's make it 3 in a row tomorrow at 4 p.m.
Welcome to The Source. The Source. Source. Hey, get the Source.
First up, Brooklyn is on the road in Cleveland. Actually, that's a lie. They are not on the road in Cleveland. They're on the road overseas in Paris. This line is Cleveland -3, and the total sitting at 225.5. Let's take a quick look at the spreadsheet. And according to the model, final score of this game should be 116-112 Cleveland. But keep in mind, my model incorporates home court. So this is the model spitting out the score of what it should be in Cleveland. Obviously, there's not enough neutral site NBA games to justify trying to build that into the model. So probably be about split even if it was on a neutral site. Let's talk injuries. And Brooklyn is fully healthy in this one with the exception of Day'Ron Sharpe. He's been ruled out. Also, Ben Simmons is still out, but I don't even know if we mention him anymore, if he's still with the team. On the Cleveland side, they're still missing the same 2 pieces that have been out for a while now. Evan Mobley and Darius Garland. Both have been out since early December. Well, actually, you think Garland was mid-December. Evan Mobley was early December. So as far as betting this game, those of you that were riding the Brooklyn Nets train earlier in the season, hopefully you hopped off that because it is definitely derailed. Through the first 23 games of the year, the Nets were the most profitable team in the NBA, 17-5-1 against the spread. You have been up 10.45 units just from betting the Nets blindly. The bad news is if you've continued betting the Nets since that day all the way up till now, you've since given back all your winnings. They're 2-12 against the spread in their last 14. They've been pretty much the least profitable team to bet on in the NBA recently. And if you're wondering what happened to this Brooklyn team, look no further than the defense. And the crazy part is Nick Claxton is actually doing a good job down low. In the last 10 games, during the Nets' struggles, Brooklyn's still top 10 in most categories on the defensive interior. But this Nets defense is basically just an all-you-can-eat buffet for jump shooters. And it doesn't even matter where you are on the court. I mean, mid-range, above the break threes, corner threes, doesn't matter. Nets are bottom of the league in pretty much everything. Not only in efficiency, but frequency too. So they're also giving up a lot of them. Jump shooters are just eating on the Nets recently. And it just so happens that this Cleveland Cavs team has been taking a lot of jump shots recently. Mostly threes, though, not so much from the mid-range. But in the last 10 games, 47% of Cleveland shot attempts have come from three-point. Cavs have been absolutely launching threes. Nets are 28th defending the corner 3 and 30th defending the above the break 3, dead last in the last 10 games. And the thing with this Cleveland team, we really haven't seen that much of a drop-off in production since the injuries. Evan Mobley went down in early December, like I said before. Cleveland actually has a higher winning percentage without Evan Mobley, and same goes for Darius Garland. He missed a few games earlier in the season, then came back, and now he's been down since mid-December. Cleveland's got a better win percentage without him also. I'm not saying the Cavs are better without these guys. I'm just saying them being out doesn't necessarily scare me off them. And that's why I'm backing the Cavs here. I'm rolling with Cleveland. I'm down to fade the Nets any day right now. Give me Cleveland -3. Next game. Boston on the road in Milwaukee here. As I'm recording this, there is no line open. Obviously, Celtics and Minnesota just got finished with an overtime game, so I'm sure that'll open any minute. Let's take a quick look at the spreadsheet. And according to the model, we got to lean on Boston. 123-117 Celtics win. Injuries for the Celtics. Kristaps Porzingis is listed as questionable for this game, but I think he's going to play. They just rested him last night against Minnesota. I'm assuming that was to have him ready to go for this game against the Bucks. So we'll see. He's listed as questionable. On the Milwaukee side, we definitely have some good news. Damian Lillard back in the lineup. He was definitely missed last game against the Jazz. They got beat outright. Also, Cameron Payne has been upgraded to probable. So the Bucks had no guards in their last game. They get both their ball handlers back for this one. So let's match these two teams up on the court. And I want to start by pointing out that this Bucks defense may not be quite as bad as you think, at least as far as contesting shots goes. In fact, the Celtics are actually a decent matchup for the Bucks defensively because Milwaukee's terrible against the mid-range shot, and Boston doesn't take any mid-range shots. If you look at the efficiency numbers by zone in the last 10 games, Milwaukee at the rim is 12th and 16th, on the perimeter 4th, 14th, 9th, and 5th. It's not bad at all. If you're wondering how the Bucks have had so many problems defensively despite having numbers like that, it's right here. They force 0 turnovers. Just a 9.6% forced turnover rate in the last 10 games. That's dead last in the NBA by far. They're dead last in the full season as well. I mean, this team creates 0 turnovers. They've also had problems keeping their opponents off the foul line as well. So even though at a first glance, it looks like the Bucks defense might actually be equipped to give Boston's offense some problems, don't be fooled by that because all the underlying numbers, all the intangibles, everything points towards the Celtics offense being able to have their way here. But the good news for the Bucks is on the other side, there's actually a similar matchup here. Celtics defense doesn't force any turnovers either. We just talked about how the Bucks were 30th. Boston's 28th. So kind of a similar matchup on the other side. I think both offenses should be fine here. In my opinion, on paper, this should be a great matchup that goes back and forth. The problem is, are we trying to catch a falling knife here with the Milwaukee Bucks? Because, I mean, Bucks have not covered a spread in 2024 yet. They're 1-4 straight up and 0-5 against the spread in their last 5 losses to Houston and Utah in there. As far as what I'm betting in this game, obviously there's no line open yet, so I can't make any final decisions. Save it for the live show. Truth be told, I might be leaning Milwaukee here. As bad as they've looked, I think they got this one circled. Boston coming off an overtime game, so I think I'm leaning Milwaukee. I'm not trying to lay any crazy line, though, so we'll see where the line opens. I'll let you know the final decision on the live show next game. Portland on the road in Oklahoma City here. Thunder laying 13.5 points at home. The total sitting at 233.5. Let's take a quick look at the spreadsheet, and according to the model, we're looking at an OKC victory, 120-114. So that would actually be a lean towards Portland in the points. Injuries for Portland, most likely going to be without DeAndre Ayton again. Jabari Walker may return, though. He's listed as questionable. He's missed the last 3 games. On the Oklahoma City side, we got nothing. No significant injuries on the report for the Thunder, but keep in mind they are on a back-to-back. So, I mean, there's always a chance on a back-to-back that you're going to see a name or two pop up on the report in the morning. As far as matching these two teams up on the court, I mean, we already know the story with Portland. They just have 0 defensive presence inside. In the last 10 games, they're 27th in frequency, 30th in efficiency defending the basket. They've just been getting crushed down there game after game. And bad news for the Blazers, Oklahoma City attacks the rim a lot. 12th in frequency, 5th in efficiency in the last 10 games. And with DeAndre Ayton most likely missing another game at center, I don't see any reason why OKC doesn't get whatever they want down low here. And then you add on the fact that OKC doesn't turn the ball over, which is huge because that's the bread and butter of the Portland defense. That's basically the only thing Portland does well defensively is to create turnovers. They're second in forced turnover rate on the season, but Oklahoma City's offense is second in turnover rate. They do a great job of protecting the basketball. So I don't see any reason why Oklahoma City can't do whatever they want on the offensive side of the ball. Now, to be fair, on the other side of the court, the Thunder defense has been struggling as of late. On the season, Oklahoma City is 7th in overall defensive efficiency, but in the last 10 games, they're back at 19th, and in the last 5 games, they're back at 25th. So the OKC defense hasn't been very good recently. The question you have to ask yourself is Portland really an offense that scares you? And unfortunately, the answer to that question for me is no. This is a bad matchup for Portland. And you guys know I'm down to bet this Blazers team, but it's got to be against an offense that's loose with the basketball, right? Like Golden State, a team that's prone to turning the ball over. That's not OKC. So I would have to lean towards the Thunder here, but laying a big number like 13.5 or whatever it is on a back-to-back, that's just not really something, probably not going to be interested in this one. If you're dying to place a bet on this game, I'd look at either Josh Giddey or Jalen Williams over. Both of those guys take a large percentage of their shot attempts at the basket, which we just covered is the weakness of Portland's defense. So that's where I'd look, but probably not betting this one. Next game. Next up, New York Knicks are on the road in Dallas. Mavs are catching 3.5 points at home, but I'm actually already seeing 4s pop up. So by the time you're watching this, it might be 4s. Total sitting at 231.5. Let's take a quick look at the spreadsheet. And according to the model, we're looking at a 115-113 New York Knicks win. But keep in mind, the model does not incorporate the fact that Luka Doncic is out for this game. New York Knicks are completely healthy. Obviously, Mitchell Robinson is out, but we took him off the graphic because we originally thought he was out for the season. Report just came out today that he might return in the regular season. So we'll keep him out of the graphic for now. And if we get an update, we'll add him back. But as of right now, the Knicks' current active roster is healthy. That is most definitely not the case on the Dallas side. I mean, the Mavs are an absolute mess, and that's kind of been their thing all year, man. They just can't get healthy. Derek Lively most likely not returning. Exum is still out. Maxi Kleber's still out. Luka Doncic is out for this one. Also, Grant Williams is questionable. So this Dallas team, man, they just can't catch a break. This one's an easy decision for me. I'm betting the Knicks here. And no, that's not because I'm a Knicks fan. People that know me know that I'm a Knicks fan. Since the trade, this team's been rolling. They're 5-0 straight up, 5-0 against the spread in their last 5. This is also a team that we know we can trust on the road. Knicks were the second most profitable road team in the NBA last year. And let's be real, 3.5 is a pretty short number here, and we're talking about a Dallas team without Luka Doncic. We haven't seen much from the Dallas Mavericks without Luka, just 4 games, but the Mavs are just 1-3 in those games, averaging less than 110 points per game. For reference, with Luka on the floor, they're averaging 119.6 points per game, so almost a full 10 points per game difference offensively with and without Luka. And he's not the only one hurt. They got all kinds of guys out. Not to mention the Mavs are 1-3 without Luka. The one win was home against Portland, so not even throwing them a parade for that one. Yeah, Knicks minus 3.5. Didn't have time to get to the Lakers game yet. Right now it's looking like Lakers minus 1.5 at home against the Suns. I can tell you, I took the Suns on Monday night against the Clippers. It was my only loss that night. I had a monster Monday. My only loss was Phoenix. And the fourth quarter of that game, man, oh my God, they just stopped playing basketball. It put me in a position where it's going to be really tough for me to get back to a Phoenix Suns bet anytime soon unless they show me something. That was a poor effort. So I would say Lakers are pass, but full disclosure, I haven't looked at this game at all. I don't even know. I didn't even look at the injury reports. That's how much I didn't look at this one. So we'll cover it on the live show at 4 p.m. NBA Thursday. Let's have ourselves a great day. Hopefully see you in the comments on the live show at 4 p.m. We're doing college basketball and NBA. We're combining them. We'll go through all of them. There'll be 4 of us. So hopefully see you there. Remember to bet responsibly. And if you want to join our Discord or get the top bets, head over to KyleKirms.com.